Skylum, who are sponsoring this video, gave me a sneaky little peek at their brand new editing software called Luminar Neo, and I've been playing around with it for the last couple of days. Now, you might already be familiar with another piece of software from Skylum called Luminar AI, and essentially that allowed us photographers to take full advantage of the power of artificial intelligence to speed up our workflow and unlock some creative possibilities that were once upon a time extremely difficult and time consuming. So you might have already seen some videos about portrait bokeh AI, artificial intelligence masking, and also the sky replacement tool that they had in Luminar AI. So Luminar Neo is a completely new piece of software. It's built on a new image engine, and it's got some really exciting features, all powered by artificial intelligence. So today we're going to sit down, take a bit of a first look at Luminar Neo, edit up some of my favorite photos that I've taken in the last couple of months, and take a look at these new features that I'm really excited to start using. I've already imported a selection of photos here into Luminar, and I'm gonna start off editing this photo from Tasmania. I've already done some basic edits to this photo using the raw develop tab, so that's the before and then the after. But what I wanna try out on this image is this new Relight AI tool. Opening up this tool here, you can see that we've got a number of sliders. We've got brightness near, brightness far, and depth. What this tool is going to do is create sort of like a 3D depth map of the image using AI, and it knows what is closest to the camera and what is further away. It's really, really cool. So if I use this brightness near slider, it's going to brighten up the parts of the image that are closer to the camera. So you can see as I go up on this slider, the grass that's closest to the camera is going to brighten up. Now we can use the depth slider as well to basically control how far you want that adjustment to go depth-wise in the image. So as I increase that, you can see that more of the grass is going to brighten up. You can have more of a fine control over that effect. So in this image, I actually want to accentuate myself where I'm standing, and I kind of want to darken all the elements that are closer to the camera. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did, and I'm going to bring the brightness near slider down. And as you can see, that's darkening the grass that's closest to the camera, and it sort of draws your eye into the image. And I really like that so far. However, I might play around with the depth slider a little bit more. Now using the brightness far slider, we can actually control how bright the mountain is, where I'm standing, the sky, everything that's further away in the image. I'm only going to bring this down just a little bit to balance the image out, but I really, really like that effect. So this is the before and then the after. I absolutely love this tool, and it's really, really easy to use. So here we have a really nice portrait image of my friend Sophia, and I'm going to use the Relight tool once again just to make her pop off the background. I'm going to start adjusting the brightness near slider here, and we don't want to go too overboard. We just want to have a really nice subtle effect. And then of course we can darken the background as well. We don't want to be too dramatic with it. And then we can also play around with our depth, but I think it's pretty much perfect where it is. You've also got this de-halo option here, which can help to refine the edge and make the effect look a little bit more natural. So as you can see, here's the before and then the after. It's pretty much like having a reflector, but in post. So if you ever forget your reflector, Luminar Neo comes to the rescue and will enable you to create an effect that makes your subject pop from the background. As a matter of fact, you can even create a gold reflector effect using the warmth near and warmth far sliders down here. So you can actually warm up everything that is closest to the camera. So as we adjust this, we're adding a little bit more warmth into Sophia's face. So that's the before and then the after. And even though we didn't have a reflector with us, the photo looks amazing. Usually if I came across a composition that had power lines in it, I would just pull my camera away and not even bother. But this new tool makes removing power lines from images really, really easy. So I actually didn't have any images of power lines at all on any of my hard drives, so I actually had to purposely go out and shoot a photo. But here we have this really nice house, and Simon's kind of walking past with his camera in hand, and we've got this annoying power line up in the top right corner. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the erase tool, and then I'm simply going to click on remove power lines, and that's going to do its thing and hopefully get rid of this really ugly power line in the corner. So there you go, the power line has disappeared and did a really good job. And we've still kind of got this power line bracket here, and I want to get rid of that as well. So I'm going to go into the erase tab once again, and I'm going to increase the brush radius, and I'm just going to brush over this area. And then I'm going to click erase, and Luminar is going to use AI to erase that completely from the photo, and Wow, that's actually really, really good. So as you can see, a quick before and after, you can see that power line is completely gone and the photo looks seamless. And I will no longer be avoiding power lines in my shots, knowing that it's this easy just to get rid of them. Here I've got this image of Cradle Mountain that I shot at f/22. And if you know anything about shooting at really high f numbers, you'll know that if you have any dust on your sensor, it's going to be a big problem when you get into post. So of course, if we zoom into the top left-hand corner of this image, you can see these dust spots here in the photo. Super annoying. You have to go and clone them all out individually. But in Luminar Neo, it's just one click to get rid of them. So you go over back into the erase tool and then you simply press remove dust spots. And just like that, you can see all those dust spots removed from the photo. Super easy, only took one click. And the most impressive thing to me is that the AI was actually able to differentiate the dust spots from the clouds, which is really, really hard to do. But it's not exactly perfect. I have found one dust spot that the software wasn't able to pick up, but it's really easy to get rid of that. I'll just go back to the erase tool and that gives me a brush to work with. I'll simply go over the dust spot and then select erase and that should get rid of it in one click. Here we have a portrait of Amanda that I'm going to jump in and start editing, and I want to use some of these portrait AI tools, and I'm going to use the bokeh tool. And what this will be able to do is increase the amount of blurriness in the background. We've already got a super blurry background, so this won't have too much of an effect. But interestingly, we can go and change the brightness of the bokeh, so we can bring that down. And as you can see, Amanda's really popping off the background there. And we can also control the warmth of the background. So I'm gonna make that a little bit cooler. Gives it more of a moody look. I really like that. In the face section, we can use the face light slider to brighten up Amanda's face in the image. You can even slim the face if you wanted to. We're gonna leave that alone for now. And we can control the eyes. So we can even change the eye color, which is crazy. Let's give Amanda some hazel eyes. Wow, that looks pretty crazy. Let's try green. Look at that, that's so cool. So that's a before and then an after. As you can see, with a few quick clicks, we've come a long way and I think this image looks really great. Here's another photo from Tasmania. We've got Leon standing on the deck of our Airbnb and I was really hoping for some moody, misty shots here, but the weather just didn't provide the goods for us. But in Luminar Neo, we can use AI to actually add in weather events. So I'm going to go to the atmosphere tab and I'm going to select fog and then I'm going to simply increase the amount and add some fog into the photo. And I'm just going to play around with this depth slider to get the kind of effect that I want. And then I'm going to go back to the Relight tool to kind of make the effect blend together and make it look a little bit more realistic. So everything that's closest to the camera, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And I'm just playing around with these sliders until I get something that looks realistic. Might come in and just cool the image off a little bit as well. With just a couple of clicks, we've taken this before, so just a plain old sunny day with a little bit of cloud in the background, into this foggy, moody sort of vibe photo that, honestly, this looks really, really good. So that was a lot of fun using AI to edit the photos. I'm really stoked on every single edit that I was able to make today. If you guys are interested in unlocking the power of AI technology for your photo editing workflow, you can pre-order Luminar Neo now for a special price. And I've left a link down in the description below, so make sure you go and check that out. So thank you guys for joining me once again. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in the next one.